One of the most common questions that I get when I'm talking about the fluvial system is a question that's very simple. In the area where I live, what does the fluvial system look like? To answer this question, I thought I would show you the fluvial system that we have here in Nacogdoches where I live and work. Behind me is Lanana Creek, which is one of the two major drainage systems that we have here in Nacogdoches. The main street that runs north and south through Nacogdoches represents the drainage divide between those two river systems. As we look at this system, you can see that there is a marked channel that is cut down here. Now we're going to go through and look at each of the different parts of the floodplain and the drainage divide in this video so that you have an understanding of what these features look like. The river system often meanders as you're seeing in this image. Notice that right under the bridge you have what is called a cut bank that is cutting into the bank which I'm standing on, and a point bar which is on the opposite side. If you go down beyond the pipes, you'll see the stream is bending the other direction and the cut bank is on the opposite side of the stream. If we slowly pan to the other side, you can see the other side of the stream. You can see the bank building with a low area below the bank building. That represents the floodplain. If we pan from the other side of the stream back up toward the university campus, you will see there is a broad flat area which the road is built on. That represents the floodplain. Below those apartment buildings, this flat surface that is between here and the goalposts that you can see on the green field represent the floodplain. As we start here looking at Lanana Creek, which is grown over by trees and shrubberies to the point where you cannot see the channel, and we pan slowly along, you can see Lanana Creek Trail. The Lanana Creek Trail is built on a large bank which is called a levee. This is a man-made levee built by the city of Nacogdoches to protect the park from flooding. If we continue around, you come down off the bank. You can see there's several areas where there are low places in the levee, and you can see on the side away from the creek that you have a wedge shape or wedge of material that represents a splay crevasse deposit. We then continue out into Pecan Park, which is the flat floodplain. The floodplain here is covered with water when we have floods. If it is an annual flood, which occurs often, you will only see about half of the park covered with water. If you look at the 50-year flood, it goes up to the base of the hill, which represents the total floodplain. To look at the drainage divide, we are standing just a little bit west of North Street. You can see the stoplight represents North Street. The earlier images were photographed down by Pecan Park, which is down over the hill. As we pan around, the highest point on the drainage divide between Lanana Creek and Bonita Creek in Nacogdoches is right here, just a little bit south of North Street. If we continue to pan around and pan to the west, we see Bonita Creek down below with the apartment complex being built on the upper part of the floodplain there. I would like to conclude this discussion on floodplain features here in Nacogdoches, and I hope that you have seen all of the major floodplain features that we have and are able to recognize the floodplain features of Lanana Creek on the east, the drainage divide that runs down North Street, and the floodplain features that are on Bonita Creek on the west side. The reason that I thought this was a good place to end this video is because back in the early 80s, when we had our 100-year flood here in Nacogdoches, this entire area was covered there, and it was occupied by a sequence of small, poorly built homes that were totally destroyed. Nacogdoches City, in its wisdom, decided to ban further development and convert this area into a park.